Hi, matey. It's a meltdown. It's a meltdown in the truther movement. General Flynn and Lynn Wood are at each other's throats. I told you this was going to happen. This is a vindication for me. A big, big vindication. And points out exactly why people should be listening to me and not the lunatics out there. Yeah, the Patriot movement this week suffered a big blow. It's hilarious, really. It's laughable. You got to take this shit as just being funny now, because what else can you do, you know? Oh yeah, so this week Lynn Wood, that big attorney against the election fraud, supposed election fraud. Well, I won't say supposed, I will say that there's always been fraud. There's always been fraud. We're going way, way, way back. There's always been fraud. Nothing new here. So it's another big straw man that they're making something out of that they really is irrelevant. Anyway, so the leaders, the Lynn Wood, the big attorney, and who incidentally Kyle Rittenhouse said double-crossed him. Well, I won't say he said double-crossed him. He said he represented him and then kept all the money that was for the donations anyway. That's a whole other story. That's hearsay, but, guess it isn't hearsay if it comes directly from Kyle Rittenhouse's mouth. Take it up with him. He should know. There's leaks in the boat, Captain. There's dissension in the ranks. I'm telling you, I reviewed some videos of mine. I've been reviewing some old videos just to see where I'm at now. I said a lot of the same stuff that I said back in 2017. I predicted that there would be a takeover of the alternative media. Well, that happened. And here we go. And it would have offshoots. Now, what this argument about was about with Lynn Wood and General Flynn, these two guys are the heads of this thrust in the truther movement, okay? It's kind of like they're idols. These are the ones that are taking the leadership role. And here they're arguing. And not only did they argue, but they had a discussion about Q. Wow, these two top-level guys are discussing that whole shenanigan, the Q shenanigan. And basically both of them said that they thought it was one of them said they thought it was a CIA op. And another one said they don't trust it. And so they basically disavowed that whole thing, which is a benchmark, not a benchmark, a pillar of this truther movement, because they all kind of gleam off that Q thing. And here we got the two top guys that these lower level buffoons are emulating and looking up to. We got them arguing with each other, and we got them disavowing Q, which is all right by me, because I knew a long time ago that was bullshit. And I told you that, and I told everybody that in a previous video. I don't know, could have been when that first came out. It's a game, it's a psyop. Now here's the thing you got to ask yourself. If these two guys are at each other's throats and they're the supposed leaders of the Patriot truther movement, Is that a real deal? Can't believe anything you hear or see anymore. I mean, is it a real deal? Well, it's a real deal to the fact that, yes, and this Lynn Wood even released a tape. See, that's how I know all this stuff, because I listened to the tape. As many other people have. Oh, did that cause fear and terror in the... How about depression in the truther ranks? And then when Flynn came out and said that there should be one world, not one world, one nation government for America, and one nation religion, what does that tell you? What religion should be the universal and we should just have that religion and that's it? Really? Go fuck yourself. You know how I feel about the Christian brainwashing machine. And this is what I've said all along. All of this stuff is connected. People should be listening to me in the hundreds of thousands instead of the pittance I got on here. Because I see shit, I foresee shit, I can tell you when it's coming. I knew back in 2017. I actually did a video in 2014 predicting the vaccine and the whole deal, administered pandemic, false pandemic, and one thing leading to another. I predicted all of that stuff a long time ago. 2014. Hello? I get too serious, I know. I take the world way too serious. I take myself too serious. It's all an act. It's all a dog and pony show. The fuck do I care? But I did have to come on here and vindicate myself once again to the very few who watch this and who know, because they probably listened to me in the past, that I hit the nail right on the head, okay? And when I said that this truther movement and patriot movement that is spreading this passivity, this passive concept of, don't worry about it, just, trust the plan. And I'll see that term, trust the plan, that came from the Q movement. Okay, so these two guys arguing, you don't know how huge this really is. These two guys arguing are outing this whole movement, and they don't even know it. Or maybe they do. Maybe this is all an orchestrated event. Lynn Wood could be a puppet. General Flynn could be a puppet. Trump could be a puppet. And they are puppets. They are politicians. They are military people. They are being used either knowingly or unknowingly. I tend to think more knowingly, participating in the big hoax, the big scam. But let's give them the benefit of the doubt and say that they're not being orchestrated and that they're just two people and they're caught up in the same fucking thing that everybody else is caught up in. Because I heard on this phone call, one of them was talking about the white hats and the black hats, and I'm like, really? If I can see through that, if I have researched that and know that that's not happening, that that's a big lie, the white hats and the black hats, and these two guys, one a general, used to be on Trump's administration, General Flynn, and Lynn Wood, this high-priced lawyer from the South. If they don't know that whole movement, and they're just now coming to the conclusion that it may be a hoax or it may be a CIA, hello? I can't tell you how many people just buy into this shit because it sounds good to them, and it sounds like, well, yeah, that sounds like something we want to happen, or that. Trust the plan. There is a plan. But yet the plan never evolves. It never comes to fruition. It never shows in any way, shape, or form how to get the tyrannical monsters off your back. All they do is talk about politics, maybe running in 2022, refurbishing the MAGA movement. I mean, it's all politics. It's all a form of religion. A belief system, a dog and pony show that is harmful. Man, I get too damn serious, don't I? I don't know what it is about me. I gotta be more lighthearted and joke around about this shit, because what else are you gonna do? It is what it is. What are you going to do, man? And see, that's the true test of somebody. If you want a true litmus test of somebody that you can trust and believe in, not this political system, but I mean somebody that is out there speaking truth, like myself, yours truly. I'll tell you what, man, I'm getting to the point now where I may not do any more videos. It's been, almost 2 weeks since I did this one. I wasn't going to do this one, but I'm like, tempted, because I like to flap my jaws too much. Well, that's going to stop. That's going to stop. Because it's falling on deaf ears. I'm not getting enough of a reach out there. I'm not getting enough of a subscription base. I'm not being heard. If I was being heard by multitudes of people, well, not even multitudes, let's just say 10,000 people. Well, yeah, I mean, I might consider it worthwhile, shit. But right now, it's like I'm a voice in the wilderness, okay? I'm a voice in the wilderness. Nobody wants to listen to me. Nobody wants to hear what I have to say, except a very few small amount of people. I get 1 or 2 comments on my channel, and I get 60 to 160 views, depending on the interest. I can't see why I should continue on doing this. I got better things to do with my life. I got my room all squared away here, my little man cave here with all the stuff I like in here, my workshop and drums and little dojo going here, and little meditation room and everything. And I pretty much disconnected except for just a few things I look at to get caught up on what these fools out there are doing. Now I will say that in some of my intel, I am finding out that there are people waking up about this whole scam, medical scam, and the additional baggage that goes with it, i.e. injections. Oh, there's a bunch of people waking up now. Doctors that were actually for it now, they have started to notice deaths, increased deaths in airline pilots. Oh, I mean triple-fold. from them having succumbed to the effects of. So I give more credit to those that maybe made a mistake and got sucked into something and now are like reversing. I mean, I'm talking high-level people here at Harvard and all kinds of places going, wow, you know, this is turning out to be something we didn't think would happen. Whistleblowers. And then the people that surround the other people, like say a bunch of pilots die off, and what about their families? You don't think that word's going to get out and spread around and all this shit? It is. The pilot community has always been a tight-knit community because I came from that community. Was a flight instructor for 5 fucking years and did other commercial flying. Those people are really concerned about their health because it depends on their health whether they work or not. Because they have to go through strict medicals, let me tell you. Flight surgeons and all that good stuff, which those people are more truthful than the regular doctors. I'd trust a flight surgeon any day over these jokers that you got out there. So it is becoming apparent in several communities, I am noticing, like with Amtrak. And of course they're lying about, Amtrak. Oh, we got 98% of our people are vaccinated, but they're lying because there's a huge shortage now and they can't barely fill the slots to keep the trains running. People are leaving in droves, okay? This is all something that is out there in rail industry magazines, which I subscribe to. See, I subscribe to all kinds of magazines and keep a tab on what the fuck's going on all these things. Aviation, I'm into the railroad because that's always been kind of a hobby of mine. So you got aviation. I subscribe to the gun people's magazines. I belong to several organizations, pro-gun. I get the latest intel as to what the fuck's going on. I keep up on it. All the latest medical scams and researches and all of that stuff. I keep up on it. So that's why I have this predisposition is like, well, I know this stuff. Shouldn't other people know this stuff? I'm telling you, I'm going to quit doing this. I don't get enough feedback. I don't get enough positive input. I don't get enough comments. I don't get enough. Yeah, I get, like, you see you got 100 and something views, and I got 1 or 2 comments. That's it. It's frustrating and depressing for me to keep coming on here and thinking that I'm not really getting out there to the people. Yeah, I mean, it could fulfill a purpose. I see that. It could be a purpose I have to be a voice in the wilderness. But I got better things to do with my time, frankly. And the way I see the world right now, the way it's going, well, if I had anything I wanted to do or finish up or whatever before this world fucking takes a augurs into the fucking earth, and that's kind of a thing we used to say as pilots. He augured in. He spun in. to the earth. Well, it isn't the earth here that's going to spin in. It's the people that are. It's the world consciousness and the governments and that. The earth's fine, we know that, Mother Earth, the planet. It's the world, it's the surrounding world that is going to augur in self-destruct. You can only pile so much shit upon so much shit upon so much shit before the load gets so heavy that it just gives way. And that's kind of where we're at right now. We're beyond that. We're light years beyond the point where it should have given way. So what is holding it up? Well, it's not being held up. It's a false sense of being held up. It's already crashed and burned. We're just waiting for the official report. The official report. It's like when they go investigate airplane accidents, The NTSB gives its official report. Well, I'm giving you an official report right now, and it don't look good, baby. So I don't know, unless I see an uptick here. Man, I got a lot of fun things I could be doing besides this. This is like time out of my day that I don't really need to waste. I think it's getting to be that way. Hell, I've been on here for 10 plus years talking the same truthful narrative, not making too many mistakes, not really, not making a whole lot of mistakes. I might see things a little bit different than I did 10 years ago or 5 years ago or 8 years ago. I might see things a little bit different, and I might use a different syntax and different way of discussing it, but it all amounts to the same thing. It all amounts to the fact that this government is fucked up, and the world is fucked up, and there's dark forces that are trying to take people down and to try to take mankind and humanity to the lowest fucking possible level they can, to the point of self-destruction. They don't want to destroy you. They want you to destroy yourself. You get that? Why should they destroy you when they can just put out their bullshit propaganda, NLP crap, hypnotic, trance-induced mental warfare, trance induction, I should say, psychosis? I just don't feel like, I want to participate, because even when I talk about it, then that is a form of participation. It's a form of participation. Just talking about it links me up to it, and baby, I don't want to be linked up with that shit anymore. I'll sit here in my own world. It's kind of like the musicians that played as the Titanic sunk. To entertain the people, they figured, well, what the fuck? Ain't nothing we can do about it anyway. Let's just have a few beers or some shots of champagne and play till we go under. Play till we go under. And so why not? Why shouldn't I just sit here and enjoy my life? And I do. I enjoy my life. But I don't want to detract from that enjoyment. It's getting to the point now where this is starting to be a distraction and an exercise in futility. So anyway, I'll think about it though. You know, I always say I'm not going to ever come back. But then I do. But it isn't. It could be months. Could be a year. Could be, or it could be never. Could be never. But if it is never, you'll know I'm out there just kicking back, chilling. Maybe smoking a little herb and having a cocktail or a glass of wine and laughing my ass off as the ship goes down. I'll leave it there. Adios.